What is up, homie? There are less qualified people than you out earning military and veterans online every single month, but it's not because they're better than you or smarter than you. The reason is because they're taking action while you're still stuck on the fence in analysis paralysis, afraid of change and afraid of the possibility of it actually working out. Because what if it did? What would you do then? Well, shit, then you'd be forced to figure it out. And that can be scary. Or what if it didn't work? Then you might be thinking, shit, I tried and failed, so that means I'm a failure. When in reality, it could just mean now you know what doesn't work, so you have better information to try a better plan, since failure is really just feedback. And what's the worst case scenario anyways? You fail and then go back to doing the same thing you've always been doing? Because the 9-to-5 job, college, the alcohol, the girls, they'll always be there. I mean, you've got people who never served in the military, never deployed, never worked a 12-hour shift, never had to wake up for PT at 4 in the morning, never had to shower with 50 other dudes during basic training. And somehow they're all able to make 10, 20, 30K per month or more online, all from their laptop. While a lot of military and veterans are sitting around thinking that lifestyle must be a scam. It must be too good to be true, or that at least just isn't possible for someone like me. And I get it, because that used to be me. And when you're in the military, you're trained to respect rank, qualifications, time in service. So when you see some 19-year-old with a degree making your yearly salary in a single month from his Miami penthouse, your brain goes, how the hell is that guy making more money than me? And the answer is simple. He's not more qualified than you. He just stopped doing the things that kept him broke. And that is the part that nobody wants to hear. Because most military and veterans don't have a capability problem. They have a direction problem, a belief problem, an alcohol problem, and a habits slowly destroying their energy, confidence, clarity, and vision for the future problem. You already know how to work hard. You know how to follow a process, you know how to be uncomfortable, and you know how to deal with pressure. But the problem is none of that shit matters every night after you numb yourself once you get home from work with alcohol, video games, junk food, reels, porn, masturbation, and then wake up the next morning wondering why you don't feel fulfilled to build your dream life. That's not a mystery, it's cause and fucking effect. And this is why less qualified people are out earning military and veterans online. Because they picked a direction, started before they felt ready, and cut out enough bullshit from their life to actually build momentum. My name is Brenden Hogan, and I served in the military as an air traffic controller, to then leaving the military, traveling the world and building a remote one-person business in the process that I scaled to $20,000 per month. And one of the biggest things I realized after separating is this: the military can either become the reason you stay stuck, or it can become the launch pad that gives you a massive advantage over everybody else. And in this video, I'm going to break down why the people who are less qualified on paper are earning more money than you, and more money than most military and veterans online. From what they understand that most service members don't, to the habits that you need to start cutting out if you actually want to create freedom after the military. But not that fake freedom, not that I got out and now I have to work another job I hate freedom, but real freedom. You know, the ability to make money from anywhere in the world while having complete control over your own schedule, while building a life that you actually look forward to living every single day so that you can take care of the people you love. And that all starts with believing it's possible before having proof. Because the very first reason that less qualified people are out earning military and veterans online is because they believed it was possible before they had proof. A lot of military guys need to see some full roadmap or operating procedure before they move, but that's not how online business works. At some point you have to say, I don't fully understand this yet, but I am willing to learn and I am willing to start. Because if you believe that making money online is difficult or a scam, then you are right, and you will never look for the opportunities, so you'll never find them, and instead will only find evidence to confirm your beliefs and your fears. But if your beliefs are, there are real skills I can learn online that are able to make me money, then you're also right. And now your brain will begin finding opportunities like remote high ticket sales, appointment setting, marketing, copywriting, AI tools, automations for business owners, remote work, creating content. The options are endless. The second way less qualified people are able to out earn you online is because they picked a direction while Most people in the military are stuck because they are waiting for clarity. But clarity does not come before action. It comes from action, because the path only opens and illuminates as you walk it, not before. You don't sit in the barracks for 3 years thinking your way into the perfect future. You try things, you learn, you fail, you get feedback, you adjust, and then slowly your path becomes clearer. And if you don't know yet what it is that you want, then just start with eliminating the things that you do not want. You probably don't want to work a job you hate. You don't want to sit in traffic every morning. You don't want to have a boss controlling your schedule. You don't want to be broke with no girls. You don't want to be dependent on one paycheck. And you don't want to trade your military uniform for a polo shirt and a cubicle. Because sometimes your dream life doesn't start with knowing exactly what you want. It starts with finally admitting what you refuse to tolerate. The third way people are able to outperform you is really by just eliminating things from their life that do not serve them. Many people have this mistaken thought pattern that success is adding more information, more motivational videos, podcasts, when it's really about subtraction. Less alcohol, less scrolling, less low frequency music, eliminating porn, less hanging out around people who have no ambition, because everything that you consume affects how you think, from what you watch, what you listen to, who you talk to, what you eat, and what you do when nobody is watching. It all becomes a part of your identity. And this is why two people can have the same opportunity but get completely different results. Person A comes home, works out, learns a skill, takes calls, practices, applies for opportunities, and builds a future, while the other comes home, drinks, scrolls, watches garbage, whines, bitches, complains, and says making money online is fake. Same military, same paycheck, same benefits, different standards, different results. The fourth is that they take imperfect action. Because the reason people less qualified are winning is that they are willing to look stupid. That's it. They post the first video. They post a cringe video. They send the first message. They take the first sales call. They apply for that remote role. They build their first ugly shit website. Military and veterans can struggle with this because in the military, mistakes can cost lives, so you start to become afraid of being wrong. But business rewards feedback, and feedback comes from imperfect action, because you cannot think your way into competency. You can only become competent by doing the thing badly enough times that eventually you stop being bad. And that is the game. If you can survive basic training, tech school, deployments, shitty leadership, 12-hour shifts, and getting voluntold to do something that you do not want to do on your days off, then you can handle being bad at sales for a few months, or posting online enough times for you to begin to see results. The biggest roadblock to success in any area is fear, because trying something new comes with uncertain outcomes, and fear hates uncertainty. Perfectionism is fear in fancy shoes. That's a quote I heard from somewhere. Look, ideas and inspiration, they come from God, the universe, the ether. They are not owned by people. They are just floating around looking for a human partner, and the person who notices the idea, respects it, and then acts on it is the most important part, then becomes the vessel for it. While the people who delay, doubt, and ignore it will watch someone else execute on it later. Everyone is equally creative. Some people just need to give themselves permission to act on their creativity, because God rewards the executor, not the dreamer. Most people feel the spark, get excited, and then hesitate, so the idea keeps moving until it finds someone with enough conviction to bring it to reality. Listen to this. This is something you have to understand. The military gives you leverage, but most people waste it. You have a paycheck, structure, benefits, tuition assistance, GI Bill, healthcare, housing, a clearance, experience, discipline, and a story most civilians will never have. And even if you wanted to start a business, there are resources out there. The SBA has programs like Boots to Business, Veterans Business Outreach Centers, Lender Match, veteran contracting programs. And if you qualify, the VA has a VR&E self-employment track. I'm not saying the government is going to hand you a free business, because it won't, but there are tools available, and most people never use them because they're too busy asking the wrong question of what should I get when I leave, instead of what can I build now while I still have a paycheck that gives me freedom later. For me, That skill was remote high ticket sales because I didn't need a degree. I didn't need to start some massive business. I didn't need to learn complicated tech, and it's recession proof, meaning AI will never be able to replace it. All I needed to do was learn how to communicate, how to ask questions, how to understand people, how to solve problems. And once I did, I was able to use that skill to make money from places like Thailand, Colombia, Korea, Dubai, my hometown. So if you're in the military or you're a veteran and you know that you do not want to spend the rest of your life working for someone else, start now, pick a skill, build discipline, clean up your habits, use the benefits and resources available to you, and stop waiting to figure out who you're going to become, because there are less qualified people than you already doing the things that you want to do simply because they decided to say fuck it and take action. And if they can do it, why not you? Subscribe for more videos in the future on remote sales and marketing, making money online, and building a life after the military that actually feels like freedom. Catch you in the next one, homie.